So today I have the privilege to chat to Luke and Sarah from Luke and Sarah's Off-Grid Life. If you haven't subscribed to their channel yet, please do so, and I'll give you the Patreon details in the description. Well, it's very, very exciting to see you guys in person like this.
Yeah, and to talk to you in person instead of just messages, eh?
What do you want to join?
So you all, yes. So, yeah, do you want to do your welcome to our channel that you do every year?
Welcome to our channel.
Hi guys, welcome to our channel.
And you? Do you want a tui? Do you want a tui?
No, she's sleepy. She's been busy this morning. She caught a mouse today.
Oh,
Hey.
That's
Normally
good.
Timmy catches the mice. She didn't know what to do with it though. When Timmy catches a mouse, he devours it, and this one she just plays with it.
Yeah.
So I called him the expert Timmy.
Hey,
I am so impressed with your woodworking skills. Oh my goodness.
I'm loving it. I just picked up my chainsaw 2 days ago because it's been in to be fixed for the past 2 or 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
I felt like not a whole man without it.
No,
I'm loving it. I'm really loving it.
You did the most incredible job with that goat house. I mean,
It's looking good, eh?
I think the goats are really happy too, actually, in it.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you just a few little questions.
Yep.
And so why do you think people should consider moving to Portugal? Because you've been all over the world. So what is it about Portugal that would draw to it?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, different countries, people get attracted to different countries, and there's good and bad for every single country in the world, obviously. For us, to be honest, it was how cheap the land was. Now, I've mentioned this before in some of our videos, and I have had a comment or two from some Portuguese people saying, oh, that's really sad, you know. But I mean, the fact is that that's what brought us to this country.
It is affordable.
We had never been here before, you know, so we just came here because it was affordable. But then once we were here, I mean, the people are amazing. Everyone we've met over here has been really, really helpful. You know, even if it's just by the side of the road and you have a puncture, you know, people stop and help. And we found everyone to be really, really nice.
And for us as well, that we wanted to settle originally somewhere where we can afford land, obviously, and that's beautiful. And we love New Zealand too, but Portugal
far away.
is
so
close to family and friends.
So for Europeans, the location and being hooked up to all of Europe is great, obviously. I guess for people living in England, the weather is a huge factor for people like them, I guess. I mean, we're from Malta, so it's pretty much the same climate. You know?
Love Malta. I visited there a few years ago.
Really? Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, my son was auctioning art on the cruise ships, and it was part of the cruise ship route. And so, yeah, I had spent the day in Malta, and I did the hop-on, hop-off bus tour.
Okay.
And I think it's a great place to visit. Lots of history, but I don't know about living there.
No, it's too small, eh? It's so overpopulated. And after 10 years of traveling around and seeing the beauty of nature and wildlife, and then going back to Malta, it's like all we have is stray dogs and cats, you know? We have no wildlife whatsoever. Any birds that fly over the islands get shot down because they have this hunting thing, you know?
I think the rules are stricter now, and they're seeing a few birds. You know, the last time we went back to Malta, there were seagulls. Were they seagulls?
Yeah.
For the first time in our life in Malta, we had seen seagulls. So
yeah. As for Portugal, the people, the weather, the affordability, obviously, like I said.
And it's supposed to be very safe there. Do you find it very safe?
We really can't. put in our 2 cents about that because we're always on the land. I mean, really,
True.
I think we can count the time Sarah's left the land on both of our hands, maybe, because she never leaves. I'm the one who goes shopping. I spend most of my time in town when I'm not on the land in the industrial zone shopping.
Well, I hope when I move there, Sarah will leave the land and come and visit, and I can make a traditional
Yes, I do
South African
visit
barbecue.
But
oh yeah, love it.
I do visit, but it's true. I hardly leave the land. There's everything I want here, so I don't leave much.
But it does look beautiful there. I mean, I don't know. It's just like all I can think of at the moment is how beautiful my land is looking in Portugal. And I mean, like Norway's beautiful, but it's a different kind of beauty. So,
are you planning to move here full time?
Yes, in June.
In June, yeah.
My contract finishes in June, so
nice.
I will then be going into semi-retirement.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So what challenges do people face when they first arrive in Portugal?
The language, I guess,
yeah,
is the biggest one.
Yeah, if you're just arriving in Portugal, not buying land or anything, but just as soon as you come here, the language. Unless you're in Porto, Lisbon, and then...
or yeah, there are parts, obviously, they speak much more English just because of the amount of tourists that go there, like the Algarve and the Silver Coast, Lisbon, Porto. But we did find a big difference in the amount of people that speak English or are willing to speak English. Yeah. The further inland you go, obviously, they speak more Portuguese, you know?
Mm. Well, I found that I managed to get to buy Brita with using Google Translate. So that sort of helps. But I'm trying to learn Portuguese now, but it's not...
I'm fluent in Italian, so it does help, obviously, because there's a lot of similarities. And I did study French for like 8 years, and there's a lot of similarities there. Google Translate, you have to be careful, though, because it's Brazilian. So many a time, I look up something before I go to buy it or whatever I'm doing. I say, okay, and I remember it. Then I go there, and they look at me like, what
are you saying?
Yeah, no, there are some words that are different.
Sure.
But it is challenging.
Yeah, especially some people say dealing with the bureaucracy when you have to deal with governmental agencies or whatever. We haven't had too much of a problem when it comes to that. I don't know if we're lucky but every time we needed to do something, it was really quick. We're used to Malta, where you have to go queue for 4 hours, fight with people about the queue because they don't even have a queuing system, you know. And when we come here, it's like everything's organized and great, you know. So
it's good. Yeah. So what do you think your biggest success has been since you've arrived in Portugal?
Okay, so when we arrived here, there was absolutely nothing here. So every single day, we're making our land better. So I mean, I don't know about Luke, but I can't really measure our success like that because it's a daily, slow incline. Can you say that? So every day is a success. Every time we manage to do something to make our life a bit easier to live.
Getting things set up, I mean, it's tough when you move onto a piece of land where there was absolutely nothing, no buildings, no water, no electricity.
Yeah, like the first day we had running water, you know, that was an awesome day.
I think I can call that my biggest success is setting up the solar, just because I have no experience in electricity.
Yeah, true.
I hate electricity. I've tried to do things in the past with vans. I've set up like the electrical system for vans. And every time I'm about to do it, and then I get a professional to do it, just because I cower away from it, because it's scary, electricity. It's dangerous, obviously. So I would consider that my greatest success, I think, just because I had no choice. We couldn't afford €1,000 installation fee. So I did it myself. Yeah.
I looked at I got a quote for solar power, but it's €5,000, which I'm thinking is a bit expensive.
How big of a system, though?
Well, you know, I think they might be trying to give me too big a system, because the only thing that I would want to have electricity for is to
Have a
charge
fridge, eh?
my devices. Like the fridge, if I get a gas fridge, then I don't need electricity for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll probably bring my television because it's quite a new one. And if I bring that, then I'd need electricity for that. It's not much. And it would just be to charge things. So I don't know. I'm
Because
looking
you
now.
don't need a big system for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
we spent the first, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 months before we installed our solar system,
Yeah.
just with a small generator. And we got like this to protect the electronics. I forgot what
Yeah.
it's called. And
An
we used to just
inverter.
charge.
Was it an inverter?
I forgot. And we just used to charge our laptop and phone and battery packs. And we
Yeah.
lived like that for quite a while until I got the courage
yeah,
to install it.
because I'm looking at maybe getting one of those like EcoFlow things. It's like a little box that it can connect to mains to charge it, or it can be charged through solar as well. And then you just need a couple of panels with it. So that's what I'm thinking of maybe getting. But
Okay.
I don't know. It's like 5,000 euros is a lot to spend.
It's a lot of money.
Expensive.
It's a
It's
lot.
expensive. That's how much they had, because I went around all the local shops over here.
Yeah.
And that's what they recommended as well for what we needed. We told them we just wanted to be able to have a fridge on and electronics, but that's basically it. Yeah, but they quoted us about 5,000 something for the same size system.
Yeah.
And I got it for 3,000 something, I think.
3 or 3
That's
4,
good.
something like that. But
Yeah.
then once we got it and we said, okay, now we have it. Now someone needs to install it.
And
Yeah,
this
that
guy
was
came.
the problem, because then he quoted us 1,000 and something. And we're like, well, we would have gone, with the company.
So where did you get it from?
I forgot the name. It's basically this guy in Portugal. He's a sales rep, and the company is in Spain. I didn't even bother looking up their name again because I don't want to recommend them, because they send me a lot of missing stuff, certain fuses, and even the after sales service wasn't great. So I prefer not to mention their name. But I have heard very good things about Spark Solar, I think.
They're the ones that
Those-
gave me the 5,000 euro quote.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've heard very good things about them all over these
I've
Facebook
heard as
pages.
well, I just think that look, I'm going to be living alone, and it's quite it's not a big house. It's one of those, like, it's the same sort of size as the indie project's stone barn. And so would I really need a huge solar system for that?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know how big it is, the system that they quoted you for, but one thing that I didn't think about before we got a quote, when he explained to me, is that you need to, first of all, the batteries, you shouldn't drop them below, ideally, 80% for the longest lifespan of the batteries. And also, you have to consider that if you've got 20% of whatever the size is, basically to work with a day, then if you get a couple of days of rain, you've got to divide that. Let's say you've got 3 days. This is how he explained it to me. He said, find out how much power you need for 1 day, multiply it by 3. So you have for 3 days. And then that should be 20% of your total system. So you've got a lot of you might think it's huge, but in reality, it's not.
It's probably not. Yeah. I mean, I think the thing that would use the most power that I've got is, like, I make my own sausage and, like the boerewors and that. And so I have, like, the meat grinder and that I would plug in. And I think that would use quite a bit of power, probably.
Yeah, I could imagine.
But I mean,
I knew you
sausages.
As soon as you said that, I knew Luke was gonna go.
Boerewors.
Yeah, no,
Do you
I
make,
do
what's
like
that South African jerky?
biltong. No, I make biltong
Oh,
as well. I made
mm.
a few weeks ago. I tried making reindeer biltong. So I got
Oh,
managed to get
nice.
reindeer steak, and then I also got elk steak, and I made reindeer and elk biltong. Really nice.
Yum. Yum.
I ate Rudolph, so you know if people don't get Christmas gifts, that's why. Yeah.
Nice.
So you
You got a friend.
you've got a ruin as well on
Come on.
your property, and like one of your videos, you were talking about in the future going to rebuild it. So when is that going to start?
So we'd like to start once we are set up for woofers, for workaways, so we can get the manpower in to help. I mean, the ruin itself is completely covered in and out with brambles.
We have cleaned it.
We've cleaned it twice, but they keep coming back.
Yeah.
We haven't dug out the roots, but hopefully the goats will help with that. But yeah, first we need to set up. Ideally, this summer, I'd like to finish the inside of this gypsy caravan so we can move in, because at the moment we spend most of our time in here, but we sleep in the earth. So once we can move in here, we can have workaways in the earth, but I need to build a compost toilet, or I'm thinking of something else now. We'll see if I do it or not. I'm thinking of maybe trying to build a biogas home toilet. So ideally you input your stuff, your poop, and then you can get out of it fertilizer and gas. So that's a huge project, but I'd like to build something permanent like that. So it will either be that or a vermicomposting toilet. And once they have a place for a toilet to sleep and an outdoor kitchen, then we can get workaways and start. We plan to clean it out, and then we can get access for the architect to actually go into the ruin. So we can start measuring and seeing, because we do have 207 square meters, I think, on the Caderneta, on the deed of habitable space. So we need to see exactly what's on plan and whatnot, and we'll go from there. We're in no rush. In the past, like our house in Malta, we completely pretty much rebuilt the inside over 2 years, and it was a nightmare. We hated every second of it. So now I'm kind of in the philosophy that if we can support ourselves, it doesn't matter how long it takes. We're not putting on a huge deadline and pressures. I want to enjoy the process.
Yeah, we're happy where we're living anyway. So
we love our life. So
you've got somewhere to stay. So what I'm thinking of doing is putting up like a wooden shed, and then I can stay in the wooden shed while because for my barn, I'm not worrying about mezzanines or anything like that, and it's got a new tin roof on, but
oh, nice.
I want to put the sandwich board on because it's insulated. So all I've got to do is remove the roof and then put the sandwich board on, and a couple of skylights, and then like level the floor somehow, do something with the floor, and then it's livable. That's it.
Awesome. Very good.
Very good, yeah. Putting up a shed.
A shed is the way to go, because then you can use it as a shed there after you're done with it.
Use it as a shed, or if I manage to get woofers or whatever coming in.
Yeah. I mean, when we got the land, we first bought a caravan and we got ripped off.
Yeah, we made a few mistakes.
And now that's our chicken coop. And then we got a big bell tent. And then after about 7 months, it split down the middle with really bad winds.
Oh my goodness.
So we've been pretty unlucky when it comes to these things. But a shed, I think, makes more sense than a caravan or a tent. Because a tent with the winds, from our own experience, is not a great idea, you know?
Yeah. Well, watching how you built the goat shed, I'm thinking, gee whiz, I can build a shed.
I know. I just want to make everything out of trees now. It's like I've only just made the connection between trees and wood now.
Yeah.
Now wherever we go, he looks okay. That looks
I'm
good.
always eyeing up trees now. That one needs to go, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It's taken me a few weeks, but I've built this composting toilet, and it's got.
Oh, you got one? Oh, you built one. Yeah, I saw you build. I saw part of it.
Yeah. So I haven't put the last video where the whole finished thing is there, but it's
okay. That's why.
Got a urine diverter in. It's
nice.
It's the heaviest composting toilet in the world. That's what I can say. I engineered it, but anyway.
Oh no, like you did with your door then.
like your door, yes, your back door. Yeah. So my next question is, how supportive is the community? Because there seems to be quite a big expat community within the area as well.
There is, yeah.
How supportive is everybody over there?
I mean, like we said, we don't really leave the land much. And we do have a group of friends who live nearby and everything, and they're awesome because, you know, it's nice to have people around you who, if your car breaks down, they can take you somewhere, you know, just to have someone there. And we all do it for each other and help out whenever anyone needs something, or building or taking away or carrying, or... But also there's, like you said, a huge community here of foreigners and like-minded people, you know, where they want to live off grid or whatever. Well, the rain is really picking up now.
You're getting wet.
But on it seems to me, and whenever I've used the Facebook groups like Castello Branco and around, everyone is so, I mean, you get assholes, obviously, you get them everywhere. Oops, sorry. Idiots, whatever. But mostly everyone's really helpful. Whenever I needed anything, loads of replies and offers of help and this and the other ideas. Everyone seems great. Yeah,
whenever we need anything, we're always like, okay, let's go on that Facebook page and ask.
No complaints. So I was very happy when I found that group, which wasn't straight away when we moved here.
Yeah. We do suggest it to a lot of people. Like, a lot of people tell us, okay, can you give us some ideas on where to look for property and what to do, where to get a lawyer from? We always send them to just check the Facebook pages of your district or around that area because they're always so helpful.
Yeah. They're great. I joined them as well, and I follow everything of it. I mean, that's how I got my bees. That's how I met Morbar, and he's been taking video and photographs of my farm every time he goes there. So
I saw that video of the bees. Awesome, eh?
Yeah. There's like they very successful, those bees. So now, who is the person who teaches Molly her tricks?
I do. I do. We spend a lot of time together, me and her.
So you're the dog whisperer.
What?
You are the dog whisperer.
Yeah, the dog whisperer. Well, ever since she came, I treated her like my kid, really. And she was sitting and giving me her paw from 1 month old. I think she was even younger than that. And then when I tried to teach her her name, where she learned so many tricks and she didn't know her name. And when we went to the vet, we had said, how come she knows so much? She was sitting down for the vet, giving her a paw. She's like, I've never seen this in such a young dog. And then we're like, but she doesn't answer to her name. It's like she's deaf or something. And her ears were still closed. They hadn't, what's the word?
They hadn't opened up.
They hadn't opened up yet. So she knew all these tricks with sign language and she couldn't hear me still. And she's very intelligent though. She's always listening to what we're saying.
Very clever. Very, very clever.
Yeah, I think the fact that Sarah talks to her a lot, well, I do as well, but Sarah takes it to a new level and has full-blown conversations about everything with her. But she knows so many words because of that, because we're constantly talking to her. It's really amazing.
In fact, we change language. We speak in Maltese when we don't want she's sleeping. We change to Maltese when we don't want her to know what we're saying. She's always listening to see what we're going to say.
We used to do that when traveling, you know, we speak to each other in English all the time. That's how we communicate. But then when we used to want to say something without anyone knowing, we'd speak Maltese.
And we do that to her.
We do that with Molly as well. Instead of saying, we're going to go for a walkies. Well, she still had me. Oh, we try and say it in Maltese or something.
We're not going.
We're not going. It's raining, Poppy.
And does Molly like the goats?
She's doing very well with them actually now.
She likes their poop.
She likes their poop, yes. But she's a little bit jealous of them, yes. But she does spend a lot of time with them, and so does Timmy. That whenever I go down in the morning and I clean the goat house, Timmy's there, Molly's there, the goats are there. They're all in the way. It's so
she got
nice.
headbutted today, though,
Yes.
by the mummy.
Oh. But
Yeah.
she hasn't chased them or anything, so that's good.
No.
No.
Well, she chases them to play, but not very often. She just wants to be part of their group, really. But she knows when to stay away because we have 2 boys now, and they're going head to head quite often. They like playing like
So
boys
awesome, eh?
do. I haven't managed to get it on camera yet, but they're really cool how they play.
So
And the way
one boy is
they
going to
jump,
be-
hey.
The one boy is going to be on the barbecue, and the other one is going to be
Yes.
your buck.
Yes.
Well, yeah. As soon as he becomes trouble, we have no experience in this, so we're saying that. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if he becomes trouble, he's gonna have to go. If not, I don't know. We'll see.
If not, we'll
We'll
see.
see.
They're both so cute. But Billy is definitely, I want him to breed with the others because I love
His dad.
his dad. I want him to be exactly, I
Yeah.
want that kind of goat. He's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
friendly as well.
And we're gonna have to see how. I mean, we're meat eaters, obviously, but I don't know how I'm going to feel about killing a goat and eating it. You know, this is all new to us. So
This
if
is
I feel
my problem.
terrible,
Yeah. This is
we're gonna have to either not eat goat again. You know, it's
yeah.
We don't know how it's gonna be. I mean, the first time we
My
ate our own
problem-
chickens,
it was
it
fine. But
was
Yeah.
okay, but we
I
didn't
don't
know.
even think I can kill the chickens. I mean, I love eating meat. I'm a big carnivore, but someone else has got to kill it. And then I don't mind cutting it up and then making into sausage and, doing all different things. That I don't mind. But the killing part, I can't do. So I've got to find something that can kill.
I've killed how many chickens now? About cockerels,
Four,
about
I
5,
think.
4 or 5. Mainly because they became trouble because they were attacking Molly and the first 3 cockerels we had were like
They
how
were
many?
savage.
6
They were
kilos, I think he was the first
heavy
one.
and savage.
Massive.
You had
And
there was one that was attacking Sarah as well.
Yes, but he's still
he's
around.
okay. He's tiny. He's really small, and we're gonna keep him for sure. The other one we might eat.
We've got 2 cockerels right now, but they do get on very well together, and they're not a problem.
Yeah, but the problem is that because when they're big, they really hurt the hens. When they go up to mate, they scratch all their back, and I'm telling you, it was really bad. So we had to get rid of him, and you're not gonna just kill him and bury him. You're not gonna waste him. And
No, you're gonna eat him. Eh?
and
We're meat
knowing
eaters.
that he had a great life, I mean, they're totally free range, running around wherever they like. Very often in our garden beds, unfortunately, because we kind of can't keep them out. But when they've had an awesome life, and I killed them quick with one axe swipe. The first time I kept getting flashes of the head coming off when I was eating it, so I didn't enjoy it too much. But I kind of got over it now, and it's fine. Respect that he had a great life and he's providing for us, and
that's
awesome.
what we want to do eventually. We want to reach sustainability, self-sufficiency. We're going to have to do that if we want to keep eating meat. We're going to have to go out food and eat our animals. They're not pets. You have to think of them as livestock.
That's why we called Meatball.
Yeah, and we don't want to keep him so much in, even though he's very cute. We don't want him to be a major part of our videos either, because I don't know what subscribers will think when they're like, yeah, it's cute. Why did you eat him?
Yeah.
No, but that is life, eh?
Yeah. Now I want to get goats.
Everybody.
That's on. I want to get a couple of milk goats. I used to breed, as I said, like the Saanen milk goats years ago.
Oh, you said when you were younger.
Yeah. And I want to get the other one that I want to get is kuni pigs. Those kuni pigs. They're originally from New Zealand. So there are
Okay.
there's one woman, I think, that breeds them in the Algarve sort of area. But that's the only place where you can get them in Portugal. And their
Okay.
meat is really good. The meat is quite marbled. It's good quality. But they quite small pigs. And I'm thinking like the bigger pigs can be quite dangerous.
Yeah.
So these pigs are like pets. They're very they love people, and they don't root either. They graze like
Okay.
Wow.
It is something to look into because I'm dying to get a pig too.
Not yet.
yeah.
Not yet. Oh, I have to be a bit more.
Well, once I get kuni pigs, I'll give you a pig. Once I
Awesome.
and get them start breeding, because I found someone in France that breeds them, and I'm thinking one could make a trip to go and get a couple of small ones to get started. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Breeding.
Oh,
Piggies.
I love pigs.
And your guinea fowl, how are they doing?
They're doing very good. I mean, they still hate us. They hate humans. It's very hard to. No
Yeah.
one's ever managed to tame a guinea fowl, I think. But Luke's just done. He's just divided. We decided not to put them in the goat house because we want the goat house for more goats.
For more goats.
But we've divided it. We don't want them to live with the chickens because they can't take over. So the pod that they were already in, Luke just divided it yesterday night, actually.
Yeah.
He was just screaming
The
at the
chickens
chicken.
drove me crazy because it took me longer than I thought. And it was time for the chickens to come into the coop, and they couldn't because the guinea fowl were in there. And yeah, they were just bugging me, dropping my screws, and it was really frustrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now they have their own little
Yeah, they have their own
chicken
little
coop.
thing. I'm going to give them 2 days to settle in again
coop.
because now it's totally changed. And then I will start. One day I let one out, and then try and see who the heck we let out the first day.
Yeah,
and then
because
let out a different one the next day too.
we looked it up, and that's what they say. They say on day 1, let out one, and then day 2, let out another one with him, because they always want to stay together. So like that, they'll have a few days, and then they'll become all of them. But we can't recognize them. They all look the same, you know? So either we're going to tie a piece of string to their leg when we let them out so we know who's who.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Hopefully it will work though.
Yes, because what you want to do with them is you want to train them to be able to just come back to the coop at night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And not just
and let
leave.
them out during the day, because they're really good at clearing your land of ticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we need that.
We
I tell
really
you.
need that. Molly's, even though she wears a tick collar, she's full of them. And
Every day we
even
take
the
off 4 or
goats-
5.
even the goats have loads on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
they're really useful for that. But yeah, so my last question is, what tips would you give someone who's wanting to buy a farm in central Portugal? What
So in
tips
central
would you give
Portugal.
them?
So we have a video on the 5 tips, but what we always say is lawyer is one of the most important things.
Yeah.
Like without a lawyer, you don't know where you're at really. You need someone to have your back when you're buying property, because
Fire safety, it should definitely be up there.
access,
Just check.
always.
Yeah, just check what's around you. I mean, not literally within 100 meters, even more than that. Is there a possibility that there can be a huge forest fire, like a eucalyptus fire or something? Access, like Sarah's saying, water.
And I would say take your time to find the property, because sometimes some people come and they're like really in a rush to buy something, and then they end up buying something that they're not too happy with. And then like when you know, I guess, because we saw our land and we're like, okay, this is what we're getting and that's it.
Yeah.
But some people are like, okay, I think I'm not going to look anymore. I don't think there's anything better than this. And they're not totally happy. And we've had friends who've already managed. They were lucky enough to sell their property and buy another one. But I don't think it's that easy because there's a lot of property here.
Yeah. Just make sure you check all the legalities. That's definitely number one.
Oh yeah,
With
the
lawyer,
legalities are the most important.
you know, a habitation license or built pre 1951, I think it
if you
is.
want a habitation
That's
license.
if you want to have a legal property. Yeah, that there's no disputes over borders, you know, and all this stuff. I mean,
yeah.
you're going to spend a chunk of money, you want it to be all good.
Yeah. But I looked at 26 different properties, and but the minute I came onto my property and I just looked down, and you just look down, it's like a little valley, and you can see the red roof of the house at the bottom. I just fell in love with it, and then only afterwards I found out it did have a had a habitation license.
Nice.
It was the only one of the 26 properties I looked at that had a habitation license. But I think this was number 16, property number 16. So I still looked at another 10 afterwards.
Nice.
But I just kept going back to
it's crazy, eh? How you know when you...
when you know, you know. But also don't take the word of your estate agent. Exactly, because we saw a lot of properties too, a lot, and none of them had habitation license. And the amount of times they told us that they do is insane.
Yes, you can build what you want.
As soon as I tell them, okay, so send me the papers, let me see how legal it is. Oh, I don't hear from them again.
Is the building legal? No, but it'll be okay.
You can build 1,000 chalets on this land.
So you said that you're going to be going for surgery next week.
Yes, I am. Doing what you did, I guess, but
at last
not as bad as you I guess. But I did sign a waiver. I don't know what it's called, but the surgeon said if they go in there and find something wrong with my right side too, if I gave them permission to take the whole thing out, just so it saves a lot of time eventually.
If you look here, you can hardly even see the scar. See, it goes over there. They like.
I see a bit of it, very little.
Yeah. See, they did like the crease over here, and so it's not like you're going to look like you've had your throat slit, you know.
Oh, that's what he showed me. The doctor said it's going to be like this. Mine.
So that's exactly
not further down.
But he's done it over here so that it's in the crease, so that you don't.
Fair enough.
And no, if I don't tell you, you're not going to know that.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
No, but he was really sweet. The surgeon is amazing. He can't speak a word of English, but we somehow managed to get everything across to each other.
Playing charades.
Yeah, playing charades and all that. But he was really sweet. I'm not. I don't care about my looks, so I don't really mind if I have a scar half across my face either. But he doesn't know that. But he doesn't know that. But he was really
single.
He was really sweet. He's like, he told me, put down your mask, and then he just said, "Oh, with that smile, no one's going to be looking at your neck." So it was really nice as well.
Yeah,
you know?
So
they seem to be really efficient, over here. The health system.
No, that's good. So did they have you had like a fine needle biopsy? Have they done that?
That was I did it in Malta. Yes. Yeah. Because I did that in Malta and it was fine.
Yeah, because mine actually never stuck out. And so what but I kept on every time I started talking, you know, and I'm a teacher, so you talk a lot. And every time I started talking, I'd start coughing, and then I'd be going, and I couldn't breathe. And like, of course, the children kept seeing me like gasping. It wasn't. So I went and had a chair. They did the fine needle biopsy, and then they picked out that there were possible bad cells in that.
Yeah.
But they did the ultrasound, and it didn't show anything. And then when I went, this was when I was working in China, and then I went to, I was referred to a specialist in Hong Kong, and he said, you know what? I think we are only looking at the tip of the iceberg. I want to have an MRI on the chest. And when they did the MRI on the chest, they found that the thyroid had actually dropped because the tumors were so big. It had actually dropped into the cavity. and it was
Whoa.
compacting on my trachea. That's why I kept coughing.
Coughing
And so he said, "You are actually dying at this minute." And I looked at him like he was crazy. He said, "Because you are slowly suffocating to death. And in a year's time, you'd be dead." But he reckoned I must have been growing those tumors since I was about 18.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. Oh.
So that's why. So when they removed my thyroid, because the one tumor was 9 centimeters by 11 centimeters. That was just one of the largest tumor. And if you think your thyroid is each lobe is supposed to be the size of a thumbnail. Now you can imagine you've got a tumor that's that big hanging off it. And so they didn't want to crack open my sternum and to get it out that way, because that would have been quite invasive. So he was determined to try and get it out through this. So it took 8 3/4 hours, and he finally used the obstetric forceps to get it out. So it was like he delivered a baby.
Having a baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow.
But anyway, I'm still here. So
yes, and it only took you 2 weeks to recover, you said, so I should be okay in a week.
Yeah. It was just 2 weeks. I was just off work 2 weeks, and then I was back at school teaching. So
what was it like to carry things? Because he told me you can't carry anything, not even the least bit heavy, for a while.
No, they didn't say anything to me about carrying things. I had like a bandage like on my neck, and then they had removed it. Had the dissolving stitches and whatever.
Okay.
Nice.
Good. Hopefully I'm like
but
that
too. But it was fine. But I have to now take I take this Levoxine. This is what has to keep me alive.
Yeah. Do you have to? Did it take them long to figure out the dosage for you, and did they get it right straight away?
They still have to keep, because I had this surgery in 2006, and still it'll be suddenly like, so I have to have like regular blood tests to check my levels, and then they will see and they will say, "Oh, okay, it's a bit high, and I've got to take like fewer half a pill once a week or whatever," or it'll be like, "It's too low, you have to up," and it's still, so it changes.
So what do you actually feel when it's low, or like, do you feel what?
I get like chronic fatigue, and I can you can start getting a little bit depressed in that as well.
Yeah, I heard that, the depressed thing.
Yeah.
Your thyroid is the thing that makes you happy. I have a super happy thyroid.
No, but your thyroid, actually the thyroxine that it produces provides energy to every cell in your body.
Wow.
So it regulates your metabolism. Mm-hmm. So I don't actually have like metabolism anymore. I have to take synthetic stuff to create metabolism.
Yeah, I see.
So and since they removed my thyroid, I put on 30 kilos.
Yeah, I heard that happens. You can't really help that, really.
So some people might put on a lot of weight, others, and then the people say, "Oh, but you must just exercise." But when you don't have energy to exercise,
well, hopefully there's a lot of farm work to be done.
No,
but farm work like you said, you're getting tired as well. And there's hair loss too. If you, sometimes
it depends. I can never remember, because I now jump between having too high and having too low. I mean, it's just it's so if your reading is high, then you've got an inactive thyroid, I think. And if your reading is low, I might be wrong, the wrong way around. One is hyperthyroidism and the other one is hypothyroidism.
Okay.
And I can never remember what they are, because I try and avoid looking at that, because I don't like to think about it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be anything like that, because if they just take off half, your thyroid can still function with just half.
Yeah, sure.
You're fine. I think the surgeon still said you'll have to take some pills, but I don't know exactly. Anyway, we'll wait.
We'll see.
We'll wait for the results.
It'll probably be the same as this. And if I'm not sure if Portugal is similar to Norway, in that this is like very heavily subsidized because it's chronic medication. So if I don't take this, then I will eventually die, because I'll sort of like your if you don't have any thyroxine, your body starts shutting down slowly, and then you just sort of go into like a little coma and die. So it's very important to take it if it is prescribed.
Yeah, they should really be free if that I mean, that's the case.
We'll see. We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah,
but they might be free in Portugal. I don't know. In Norway, as soon as you have paid out 200 euros for anything medical, then it's free.
Okay.
So it usually by March I have used up my 200, yeah. 200
well,
euros.
we'll find out how it is here when the time comes. Soon, I guess.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, well, I wish you best of luck for the surgery.
Thank you. Thanks for interviewing us. It's been a pleasure.
It's been fantastic chatting to you. And
same here.
Same here.
And I look forward.
We'll see you in June, I guess.
Yeah, when I'm there in June, that will be awesome. Be ready. I'll bring my book.
Not too long now.
With me, and I have everything to make. Especially if you like cooking. I enjoy cooking. I like making preserves and different things. I took oranges back in my luggage from when I was in Portugal in December, and I made the most divine marmalade. So, yeah.
Nice. Alrighty.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Yes.
Have a nice. Yeah. It's Thursday, so I
Pretty
guess
much.
the weekend is soon.
Our weekend.
So I will post this video on Sunday.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. We'll look out for it.
Okay then. Thanks a lot.
Take it
Bye.
easy.
So please subscribe to Luke and Sarah's channel, and if you can subscribe to mine, that will be fantastic. Keep safe and keep sane, and I'll see you next week.